Alphonse Daude was a famous French writer born in 1840. He lived a long time ago, but his stories are still loved today. He wrote many books and is especially known for his short stories and novels. People still read his work because it is simple and very beautiful. Daudet wrote about life in France, especially the small towns, and the people who lived there. He was a great observer of human nature, and knew how to tell interesting stories. Daudet was born in the south of France, in a town called Nîmes. When he was young, his family didn't have much money. They lived in a small house, and his father worked hard to support them. But life was not easy. When Alphonse was only 14 years old, his father died. After that, Daudet had to work to help his family. He left school and started working in a small job. Despite these difficult times, Daudet loved reading books. He was very interested in writing and dreamed of becoming a famous writer one day. As a young man, Daudet moved to Paris. Paris was the center of culture in France, and many writers, artists, and musicians lived there. He wanted to be part of this world. In Paris, Daudet started writing short stories and poems. He met other writers and learned from them. One of his best friends was a famous writer named Guy de Maupassant. Maupassant helped Daudet by giving him advice on how to improve his writing. At first, Daudet's stories were not very popular. But he didn't give up. He continued to write, and little by little, his stories became better and better. Daudet's style of writing was simple, and he always tried to show the feelings of his characters. He wrote about the small things in life, like the problems people face every day and the joys they find in their lives. His stories made people feel connected to the characters, even if they didn't live in France or speak French. One of Daudet's most famous works is called Les Lettres de mon moulin, The Letters from My Windmill. This book is a collection of stories about the people and life in the south of France. Daudet wrote about the countryside, the mountains, and the small towns where life was slow and peaceful. He described the sounds, the smells, and the colors of nature. In these stories, there were always interesting characters such as farmers, shepherds, and other people who lived simple, honest lives. Through these characters, Daudet showed that even in the most difficult situations, there was always a little bit of happiness to be found. In one of the stories, a man named Leo is a priest who has a hard time finding his faith. Leo lives in a small town near a mountain. He is tired and sad because he feels far away from God. But one day he meets a poor family who is very kind. They teach him that faith is not just about going to church, but about helping others and being good to the people around you. This story is a good example of how Daudet used simple situations to show important lessons about life. Another one of Daudet's famous stories is Tartarin de Tarascon. This is a funny story about a man named Tartarin who thinks he is very brave. He loves to tell everyone that he has done many exciting and dangerous things, like killing lions in Africa. But the truth is, Tartarin is not as brave as he says. He is actually afraid of many things. This story is very funny because it shows how people sometimes lie to make themselves look better than they really are. But at the same time, the story also shows that even someone who is not very brave can still be a good person. Daudet was not only a great writer, but he was also a teacher. He loved to teach young people about literature and writing. He was known for his kindness and patience, and he spent a lot of time helping others. He believed that everyone could become a good writer if they worked hard and loved what they were doing. Despite his success as a writer, Daudet faced many personal problems. His health was not very good, and he often felt tired and sad. But he continued to write, and his work became more and more popular. His stories were read by people of all ages, and they were translated into many languages. In his later years, Daudet became very famous. He was invited to many important events, and was even given a special honor by the French government. But he did not let this make him proud. He remained humble and continued to write with the same passion that he had when he was young. Alphonse Daude died in 1897, but his work is still remembered today. People still read his stories because they are full of warmth, humor, and wisdom. Daudet wrote about the everyday lives of ordinary people, and his stories help us understand that no matter where we live or what we do, we all have similar feelings and experiences. His work teaches us to be kind, honest, and to appreciate the little things in life. Today, many students in schools around the world read Daudet's stories. They learn not only about French culture, but also about important lessons that are true for all people, no matter where they come from. Daudet's work continues to inspire new generations of writers and readers. His stories remind us that the simplest moments can sometimes be the most beautiful and meaningful. Alphonse Daudet's life may have been difficult at times, but he never gave up on his dream of becoming a writer. He worked hard and never lost his love for telling stories. Thanks to his dedication and passion, his stories will continue to be enjoyed for many years to come.